I'm in love! I'm in love! Woohoo! Yippee! Ah! Xenu? I do my own stuff! Welcome to the Cruising Altitude podcast, a podcast dedicated entirely to Tom Cruise. I'm your host, Blake, but you may also know me as Smokey's Videos, and this is my co-host, Saul? Saul, where are you?
Blake, you know Saul's not here.
Oh, that's right. He's in Japan for the entire month of October celebrating Tom Cruise Day.
Is that a real thing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I think in 2008, I think is the year, they decided, the country of Japan decided that October 10th is Tom Cruise Day.
How awesome.
Mm-hmm. So he's been partying the whole month, partying it away. I haven't heard from him in 28 days. I'm getting worried.
You should be.
I'm sure he'll be fine. It's not like Scientology got him. Welcome, everybody. Saul was unable to make it to the Tom Cruise... what is it we lead? We're the Tom Cruise fan club, is what we call ourselves. We reside in a giant papier-mâché of Tom Cruise's head. So this is my current guest host, Lena.
Hi.
Yeah. Lena, how many Tom Cruise movies have you seen, not counting Rain Man, that I made you watch yesterday? She's counting on her fingers.
5?
Which are they? All the Mission Impossibles?
Yeah, all the Mission Impossibles and Top Gun.
Oh, you've seen Top Gun.
And then Top Gun. Wait, then wouldn't that be 6?
Yes.
7, 6?
You're the one that's good at math, not me.
No, I'm not.
Nah. So, that gets that out of the way. You are an extreme fan of Tom Cruise is what I'm getting at here.
He's
correct?
pretty hot.
Yeah, exactly. Have you seen his teeth and how they don't align quite right to the middle of his head?
But they're still perfect.
Yeah. He had to wear adult braces.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
If you watched some of his early movies, like The Outsiders, it's very obvious.
Oh, The Outsiders. Okay, it's 7 now.
What about Valkyrie?
No.
Magnolia?
No.
The one he's in with Cuba Gooding Jr.
No.
Endless Love. It's the very first movie he's in.
No.
Taps.
Nope.
The Last Samurai.
I think we're gonna stop there and say no.
Okay. Moving on. To start the show off, hey, don't look at my notes. Don't spoil it for yourself. How dare you? We start the show off with 4 Cruise fun facts, which I just Google Tom Cruise fun facts, and I copy and paste whatever I find that I haven't already used. I haven't read these through. Are you ready to hear some fun facts?
Yes.
Fun fact number 1. While he was married to Nicole Kidman, it was believed that Tom Cruise is gay, and that he married Nicole Kidman just to save his public image. These rumors were generated thanks to a gay porn star named Chad Slater, who alleged that he and Tom had an affair. However, it was soon proven that these rumors were false.
I would have done the same thing.
Who are you in this scenario?
Tom Cruise.
Oh, I thought you were Chad Slater. In 1988, Tom Cruise was the first actor to star in both the Oscar winner for the Best Picture and the Razzie winner for the Worst Picture. Have you heard of the Razzies?
Yes. It's an award.
Yeah, they're
right?
the awards for like terrible actors in
Yeah.
movies. The Best Picture of that year was Rain Man, the film we are discussing this month. And the Razzies chose Cocktail as the worst, which was last month's episode. I wouldn't say that it's... I don't know what else came out in the year 1988 besides Cocktail and Rain Man, but I don't think I'd give it like the worst movie of the year, Cocktail.
I'm pretty sure that
a movie
worse.
you've never seen.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. It was a sequel to a movie from the 60s.
Oof.
Fun fact number 3. When Cruise played Stacy Jacks in Rock of Ages, he asked director Adam Shankman for a monkey sidekick. After watching the baboon's performance in an audition tape, Cruise decided that the ape's character should be named Hey Man. Like, hey, space, man.
I get it.
I don't.
It's
No?
like he's like a hangman.
No, not hang. Hey. Hey.
Yeah, but never mind.
I don't get context clues or puns. Tom Cruise has often spoke up about growing up poor, but money is definitely not a problem today. He is currently ranked number 3 on Forbes' top 100 richest actors list with an estimated net worth of $550 million. He's quite rich. He owns his own plane. Alright, so that takes care of the Tom Cruise 4 fun facts. Let's move right on to... what is this movie? Rain Man facts. You see what I do each month is that I just take the previous month's notes and just type over everything else so I don't have to keep remaking it. I forgot to do that, so it still says cocktail facts. Rain Man facts. Here is a short synopsis from the IMDb. Tell me what you think of this. Selfish yuppie Charlie Babbitt's father left a fortune to his savant brother Raymond, and a pittance to Charlie. They travel cross-country... They travel cross-country... Oh, that's it.
That's it?
Well, I accidentally left in the remainder of the cocktail synopsis from last month, so it really should read... They travel cross-country. Talented New York City bartender takes a job at a bar in Jamaica and falls in love.
Okay. Well, that was a terrible synopsis anyways from the beginning.
It also doesn't mention that he kidnaps his own brother. Yeah, if you ever go back and watch all of Tom Cruise's movies from the beginning, like Saul and I have, you'll realize that he almost always plays a terrible person.
Really? He's good at being a terrible person?
Yeah. He's just that good of an actor that doesn't say anything about his person.
Uh-huh.
Tom, please come on the podcast. I'd love to interview you. Rain Man was directed by Barry Levinson and stars Dustin Hoffman, Valeria Golino, Michael D. Roberts, Gerard R. Mullen, and Tom Cruise. It had a budget of $25 million. And would you like to guess what it made in the box office? I'll give you a hint. It was 1988's best movie.
A good... I don't know.
Don't want to take one final guess?
No.
$354 and $354.8 million. That's a lot of money for a $25 million budget.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there wasn't some sort of sequel to this, even though I don't know where they go with it.
I don't think there is anywhere you could take that. It kind of resolved itself.
He finds out he has a sister.
Okay.
And he and Raymond then break her out to try and get the fortune.
But then she would have had been in the will. And
it's a secret will. Never thought of that, did you? Secret will.
How would you have a secret will on top of your will?
You make the real will, and then you make a secret will and tell... And in that secret will, it says not to tell anybody else about it except the secret sister who's in the secret will is the only person who's told about it by the lawyer.
Then what do you get in that will?
I don't know, money?
He already gave all his money.
It wasn't all of it, though.
Okay, fine.
He has an offshore Swedish bank account, or Swiss bank account.
That sounds plausible.
Mm-hmm. So let's move right on to some more facts about... not Cocktail. Rain Man. The film is known for popularizing the misconception that card counting is illegal in the United States.
It is illegal.
Apparently not, according to IMDb.
Then... What? Then you would always win if you were allowed to count cards.
I mean, I guess most people don't know how to, or don't care to learn, or think it's illegal, so they don't do it.
Oh, I guess so.
So if you're listening to this and you're on a trip to Vegas, count those cards.
My dad taught me how to count cards.
Really?
Yeah, I forgot it, though.
Oh, well, that knowledge is worthless to us then. For in-flight viewing, several airlines deleted the sequence in which Raymond reels off statistics about airline accidents. Except for Qantas. They even promoted one of the movie's writers to first class once he traveled on their airline. Because you remember in the movies...
Yeah, he didn't want to go on the plane.
Except for Qantas, because they've never had a crash. Dustin Hoffman spent a lot of time with savant Kim Peek, the inspiration for the character of Raymond. Rain Man writer Barry Morrow first met Peek in 1986, and on winning an Oscar for the screenplay for his movie in 1989, gave his Oscar trophy to Kim Peek. Hoffman made Kim's father, the main caregiver, a promise that he would share Kim with the world. For nearly 20 years until his death, Kim Peek went all over the world impressing people with his incredible memory and ability to recall minute details from centuries of history. No?
Oh,
It's not very interesting? Wow.
no.
What about this?
Okay.
Dustin Hoffman was originally hired to play the part of Charlie Babbitt, but after being moved to tears seeing a savant named Leslie Lemke, who is blind, mentally handicapped, and has cerebral palsy, play full concertos on the piano by ear, he decided to play the part of Raymond instead.
Oh, that's sweet.
The film first opened with a disappointing $6 million in revenue. However, in following weeks, it generated great word of mouth amongst movie viewers, allowing the movie to steadily climb to the #1 slot. During the shooting of the casino scenes, Dustin Hoffman would go off and play games like blackjack. After production was halted because nobody could find him, someone was assigned to watch him during offtakes. God, that must be like a nice, easy paying job. All you have to do is watch Dustin Hoffman wherever he goes in the casino so you don't lose him. I could do that. I could watch a grown man go and play blackjack.
I don't think you could take him.
What is that supposed to mean?
You'd lose him.
Wow. I have alright eyesight.
You'd get distracted by all the pretty lights.
I mean, that's true.
Uh-huh.
What? I like shiny things.
Uh-huh, you're
That's why I have that nest over there, full of trinkets and things I've stolen from people at parks. I'm a crow. During the shooting of... Oh, no, wait, that's the same one. Dustin Hoffman insisted that Raymond Babbitt should be autistic savant instead of being mentally disabled. His insistence was largely responsible for director Martin Brest quitting the project.
Who's Martin Brest?
Apparently he was going to be the director, but he didn't like that, I guess, Raymond Babbitt was like... was a somewhat smart character instead of like just mentally disabled and handicapped. So he was like, I don't want that. I want him to be retarded. So he left.
I thought that made the movie better.
It definitely did.
Because it made him function a little bit better in society.
Imagine the alternate universe where Martin Brest stayed on the project. It probably would have won the Razzie.
It probably would have been just taking a mentally disabled
Just
person
taking the piss,
everywhere
yeah.
And like not reacting.
It probably would have been a lot of making fun of him too.
He probably would have had a lot of psychic breakdowns too.
Oh, that's assuming that he's written all right, not like...
Well, it depends on who. But still.
The script was originally written with real-life brothers Randy and Dennis Quaid in mind. One of them is crazy. I can't remember which. I think it's Randy. Sir Michael Caine has revealed that Tom Cruise's performance in Rain Man was one of his personal favorites of all he's ever seen on film. Caine found out somewhat late in his adult life that he had a brother he'd never been told about, who had lived most of his life in Cane Hill Mental Hospital, with a debilitating diagnosis of epilepsy. With great sincerity, he said, Hello, I'm Michael Caine. Tom Cruise's performance was beautifully done. He went on to say that Dustin had the showy part. Tom's required discipline and a responsibility to draw the viewer into Raymond's point of view, as well as portray the painful acceptance of the limitations his brother's condition placed on their level of a familial intimacy.
Sweet.
Tom Cruise's wearing of Ray-Bans boosted sales of that style by 15%. While it wasn't anywhere near as big a boost as the ones he wore in Risky Business, which were Wayfarers, this is the second time in the 1980s his wearing of a style of Ray-Ban sunglasses in a movie helped increase sales. That's definitely, because in Risky Business he wore like he wore the sunglasses, and like it really helped the sales. Really? So this is definitely like, hey, it worked that last time, let's just fucking do it again.
Did he get sponsored for it?
No. He just wore him in the movie and people really wanted to look like him.
I would have asked for money if I was him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, he could have been in advertisements, maybe. I don't know. The part of Susanna had originally been written as a wasp-ish blonde woman by having a foreigner play the role whose native tongue wasn't English. It allowed for Tom Cruise's character to do a lot of exposition. What did you think of her character?
She was kind of...
Annoying?
Yeah.
And out of place and shouldn't have been in the movie?
I think she somewhat belonged in the movie because she was kind of his girlfriend, so it worked.
Tom Cruise's character, Charlie, seems like he'd be the guy to
Date.
get like a foreign girlfriend,
Yeah.
bring her back to the States, and make her work for him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's some negative connotations. What if she worked for him before they became a couple?
I don't know.
One of the 1948 Buick Roadmasters that was featured in this film went up for auction in 2012. It was purchased for $170,500. It's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
Dustin Hoffman suffered serious injuries in his hand while shooting the scene of the nighttime car accident. Shooting was suspended for several hours while he was transported to a local Kentucky hospital to remove a piece of glass from his hand and get stitches.
How did he do that?
Good question. He was probably playing blackjack. He was playing blackjack. He made some wrong bets. He got some people angry at him. They cut up his hand. It's like in the Middle East where like
did
they
that
cut the
really happen?
Yes,
or are you
it
making
did.
That up?
No, that's actually did happen. I read it in his autobiography. His autobiography is actually called Hallelujah, It's Raining Men by Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny.
That's what I thought too. The song Aiko Aiko, played during the opening credits, also plays during the opening credits of Mission Impossible 2, also starring Tom Cruise. Both films are scored by Hans Zimmerman. Or Zimmer, actually. Hey, Lena, did you wonder how far the road trip between Cincinnati and Las Vegas is? It's 1,938.6 miles, with an additional 270.2 miles to Los Angeles.
Yay. Isn't that like, what, 3 days?
They said it was like a week, I think.
Really?
I think, because at the very end, Charlie says, like, the whole movie took place over, like, the course of a week, so I guess 3 days is...
Oh, yeah, he said 6 days.
Let's see. According to the book Neurotribes, this movie also helped the general population become much more sympathetic towards autistic people, as the movie gave them a basic understanding of the condition. That's good.
Yeah.
That's something good this movie did.
Not a lot of people realize how they act on a daily basis.
No,
So.
I'm just like, oh, that person must be a retard. Or as they would say in The Hangover, which also parodies this movie, a retard. Okay, so that's the end of my facts. Notice I didn't put the word fun in there. Would you like to move on to the discussion of the film?
Sure.
So, what did you think of the intro with the Aiko Aiko? My grandma and your grandma sitting by the fire. My grandma said to your grandma.
I liked
set
it.
your
I didn't
fire
really
on
quite
fire."
understand what's going on, but they were talking about the Tom Cruise's car business. Is that
He's
what
some
it's
sort. He's like
about? Yeah.
so. The movie, first off, starts with Tom Cruise right off the bat, which I love. I'm so proud of him, seeing him as a bit role in the first movie, and now he's right from the get-go. It's Tom Cruise. I'm proud of my boy. Yeah, Tom Cruise plays a guy named Charlie Babbitt, who has some sort of like foreign car import business in the port of Los Angeles or something. And the whole issue, which is apparently the EPA is holding his cars at the port due to like emission regulations with them that aren't meeting their standards. And then Charlie has one of his employees lie to a customer for their sale. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Like, so right off the bat, he's not a very good person. He gets slightly better.
Yeah. Raymond changes him a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Charlie Babbitt, he's not the best guy. Also, doesn't he like owe money or something?
Yeah, he owes a lot of money. I don't remember how much.
It's like $80,000,
Yeah,
like they say at the end, but I don't know what it is at the beginning. Because he's just having all these fucking troubles getting the cars to leave the port, and he can't sell them if they don't leave the port. And then he just decides to leave his employee named Lenny in charge while he and his girlfriend go to Palm Springs to vacation. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Exactly. And then you don't see Lenny ever again because he died.
I don't think he died.
He killed himself when the cops came to his door.
I highly doubt that. I think he ran.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You think he stole one of those Lambos?
Yeah, he's in hiding.
Ah, that's the sequel to Rain Man. You make it about Lenny and his crime spree. Is it as they're driving that he gets the call?
Yeah, he immediately turns around his car.
So yeah, Charlie, they're driving to Palm Springs and like right off the bat, he and his girlfriend just start arguing.
And his car phone goes off.
That's how you know he's rich. He has a motherfucking car phone.
Yeah.
In the 80s, in 88.
I was like, who is this guy?
It's Charlie Babbitt, baby. Yeah, his call that he received. Who's it from? Is it from Lenny?
Yeah, and then that lawyer guy.
Oh, I don't know why. I thought it was Lenny who called him.
No, it was that lawyer friend.
Oh, friend in quotations.
Well, his dad's lawyer friend, not
Fucking
his.
bloodsuckers.
Mm-hmm. That his father passed away.
Mm-hmm. His dad's dead, and Charlie's like... Because he doesn't like his dad.
He seemed like he didn't care.
Well, yeah, because as we learn later in the movie, apparently he didn't have all the best relationship with his dad. I read someone online say, maybe his dad was also somewhat autistic, and that's why he didn't have a good relationship with his son.
Well, Raymond did have problems showing his emotions, so maybe, yeah.
Or maybe his dad was just a dick.
No, I'm gonna stick with that he was a little bit autistic.
What if he would just... Did they say when their mom dies?
Yeah.
Like 65 or something?
Well, he was 2.
Maybe maybe that's it. Just like his wife died and he just didn't care anymore.
True.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Yeah, so Charlie just... Oh, yeah, that's right. So he gets a call that his dad died and that the funeral is tomorrow.
Oh, no.
I thought they drove all the way to Chicago or Cincinnati or wherever the hell it is. Ohio? Yeah. But I guess they took a plane or something.
I'm pretty sure they took a plane.
Yeah. I don't think you can drive from LA to Ohio in one day.
You can't.
Yeah, you might be able to.
Unless you go all night, too.
Exactly.
I highly doubt he did that, though.
So, oh my gosh. I'm getting choked up just thinking about it. It's such a sad movie. I'm getting more choked up about Charlie's dad dying than he did. Charlie and Susanna go all the way to Ohio for the funeral, and he makes Susanna wait in the car like a dog, or Grandpa Simpson in the Simpsons movie, while he goes to the funeral. Then they drive somewhere else, I think to his house or something, his dad's house, and he and the lawyer go over the will.
That's when his father gives him his rose bushes.
Okay, is that what he did? I wasn't sure. I wasn't paying attention during that scene.
He didn't give him the $3 million, but he gave him the rose bushes.
And a car.
Well, and
his Buick Roadmaster.
Fireball 8.
Is that what it was?
Buick.
Are you making stuff up?
It was like Fireball 8, something else 8. I don't remember. Only 200,000 of them were made.
Really?
Yeah, look, I'm Raymond.
So yeah, then Charlie loses his mind and yells at the lawyer and is screaming tell me who the trust fund guy is. Because as Charlie learns, there has been a trust fund for $3 million and he doesn't know who got it. So he leaves and he's bitching to Susanna and he tells her a story about how he stole his dad's car one time. Yeah, so his ambiguously foreign girlfriend, she doesn't know what getting pulled over means.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Yeah?
Yes.
You laughing at people, foreign people, Lena? It's 2019. Why don't you get woke?
I am woke.
I mean, you're awake. And then Charlie reveals that his dad, unlike the other dads of the kids who got arrested because the cop thought the car was stolen or something.
He reported it stolen.
Oh, he did? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What does his dad do?
His dad threw him in jail. Or left him in jail, actually.
You remember how long?
For 3 days?
I have 2 days.
Oh.
Yeah, it's basically the same. And then after Charlie got out of jail, I guess he went home and packed his stuff and then left and never came back.
Never talked to him again.
Yeah, he also says, I don't remember the context of this line, but he says, "The Rain Man would come to sing to me."
Oh, he was talking like it was his childhood friend. Like,
What brought this up?
Imaginary friend. He just started randomly mumbling.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and then Susanna was all like, "What are you talking about?"
Oh.
And it's just like my imaginary childhood friend.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He had this imaginary friend named the Rain Man who would apparently sing to him as a baby. But then he disappeared because it's an imaginary friend. Spoiler alert! It's Raymond. What'd you think of that twist? Did you see it coming?
I didn't.
Me neither.
No. That was
Wow,
kind of weird.
You're the one who's supposed to be picking up these context clues.
Well, like, that was a very hard context clue. How was I know his secret autistic... He's autistic, right?
Yeah.
Autistic brother was actually singing him lullabies when he was little.
You should have picked that up immediately.
That's
It's so simple.
That's a really hard context clue.
No, it's not. You're the English major here.
That's a really hard context clue.
So yeah, Charlie doesn't get anything from his dad. And he somehow finds out, I assume through bribes, that the trustee is located in a mental institution. So Charlie rocks up to the mental institution, and like as he's talking to the head doctor, someone who is also friends with his dad, a patient climbs into the car after he says that his dad used to let him drive it. Dun dun dun! This man is Raymond, Charlie's older brother and imaginary friend. What if... Oh my god. What if Charlie was the one in the mental asylum?
Charlie?
Yeah. What if all this was just in his mind and there was no Raymond?
You are thinking way too far.
What if, though?
No, this
What if?
isn't Sucker Punch.
I never saw that movie. I heard it's terrible.
What? It's like they all make up that fantasy world because they're all insane.
Oh, trust me. I know what it is. I
Then
just
why'd
didn't
you
want to
say
watch
you
it.
didn't know?
Because I don't want to acknowledge its existence.
I love that movie.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
It was good. You don't know because you haven't watched it.
All I know is that... Is Vanessa Hudgens in that?
Yes.
Yeah. That's how I know that movie. What's the baby doll?
Yeah, her name's Baby Doll.
Yeah. I know her, blonde in a short
Her name's
skirt.
Emily Brown. In
Her real
life,
name?
Browning. I think Emily Browning. Or Brown. I don't remember.
Directed by Zack Snyder.
I didn't know that.
No?
Also, there's that other girl that's in it. That's the doctor. I don't remember her name.
Tina Fey.
No, it's not Tina Fey. Is it? Hold
Julie... No.
Hold up.
As a rule on this podcast, we can't look anything up.
What? That's
Give me your
a
phone.
stupid rule.
Nope.
Give me it.
You're holding this podcast up,
Well,
lady.
then go to your next thing.
We learned that Raymond is a high-functioning autistic savant with what is called a superb recall. Take note, this is not what a high-functioning autistic person is. A high-functioning autistic person is someone with autism who can also function well in society. Carla Gugino.
What
Oh,
else
John
is-
Hamm was in that movie? Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, he was the high roller. He was who bought Baby Doll.
What?
You need to watch that movie.
I don't want to.
They were waiting. He was like waiting for her.
Anyway, Raymond is a high-functioning, quote-unquote high-functioning autistic with superb recall. And later, once, I guess Charlie learns that he's his brother, Raymond gets nervous, very nervous, when Charlie looks around his room and he begins reciting Who's on First. Did you ever hear of Who's on First? The famous Abbott and Costello bit?
Honestly, no.
How have you never heard of that? It's a comedy classic.
Because I haven't heard of that, and I
Who's on first? Who? Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Who?
was born in the 90s. Give me a break.
So was I.
Yeah, but
What are you trying to say?
you're old-minded.
Wow.
You are.
That hurts.
You know it. You know you are.
That hurts. I'm moving on. Charlie's acting like a real Muppet. Is my next note. It's when he's being a dickhead going around Raymond's room. Remember?
Yeah, and touching stuff.
He's just like being a dick and touching stuff on purpose to get him upset. I really liked Vern.
Yeah.
The main man.
E-E-R-N. Help.
Vern is like, is Raymond's, I don't know, nurse, I guess?
Was it? I thought he was like a janitor.
No.
He was wearing like a jumper.
What, really? I thought he was his nurse or something.
Was he?
Or like his caretaker.
I didn't know nurses wore jumpers.
By jumper, do you mean a sweater or a jumpsuit?
Jumpsuit.
Oh. That's what they call sweaters in, I think, Australia and England.
Yes, that is what they call sweaters.
You don't have to be so condescending about it.
Well, we're American.
Are you?
Yes.
If you say so. To make me call ice. Charlie tricks Susanna into helping break Raymond out of the institution in an attempt to gain custody, and thus the money. What was his plan once he got in custody of Raymond?
It was a ransom. It was like, I'll give Raymond back once I get my share of the money. Once I get my 1.5 billion dollars? Million. Zillion.
I want $1.5 kajillion or you don't get my brother back. See, I told you he's crazy. He's the one in the institution. It's like that Leonardo DiCaprio movie. What is it? The Island, I think, where he's a detective or something trying to solve a crime on a mental institution island, and it turns out he was in the institution all along. Me, neither have I. I've read about it. Just another movie I've been spoiled for. And Susanna is, oh God, she's worthless, isn't she?
Yeah, basically. She's like, no, don't do it.
No, your accent isn't thick enough.
I can't do that accent. You do it.
No, don't do it.
No, that's not her accent.
I don't even know what her.
Is she? Yeah,
she's just ambiguously foreign.
Is she Italian?
If she's not, that means you're racist.
No, it doesn't. I'm just guessing.
She's fisherman. Ian. So yeah, they steal Raymond, and for some reason Vern just watches them, and he's like, ah, shit.
Oh yeah, that part was weird. Like he didn't try to stop them or anything.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
So the famous scene, which is it's the poster of Rain Man, is when Charlie and Raymond are walking out of the asylum, like nonchalantly, like down that big row of trees, and then for some reason the film just cuts to Vern watching them from the stairs.
He doesn't care. Maybe he wanted him to go.
Maybe they have a microchip in Raymond. How did they find him?
He gave him back. Remember?
Did he contact?
It was that lawyer friend.
Oh, that's right.
He had to do an evaluation with that doctor.
The doctor, by the way, at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
That's the director.
Get out.
No, I'm being serious.
I hated him.
Really? I liked him. Why did you hate him?
I don't know. I didn't like his acting.
Well, I mean, he is a director.
Or his character.
What?
I didn't like his character. He was a dick.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
How was he a dick?
He, didn't care what Charlie had to say at all. He was just, it was like he already had his mind made up. Like, they were going to take Raymond back. Like, he already knew.
Well, I mean, Charlie did kidnap him from the institution.
I know, but still, he wasn't listening to
I feel like
him.
he was definitely, psychoanalyzing Charlie during that, too.
Yeah, he wasn't listening to Charlie, and Charlie was the one that took care of him for the past week.
Yeah, but they've taken care of him for the past, 30 years.
So?
Oh. So. The institution has Italian night.
Pizza!
Yeah. Is that what he wants?
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
that's
right.
A pepperoni pizza.
A pepperoni pizza.
Yes.
Oh, I sound like Susanna.
Told you.
That's a pretty fucking good institution. Especially considering most mental institutes, especially shown in the media of film, are terrible hellholes.
Well, didn't they say it was the best one in the country?
Which makes sense because their dad was rich.
Yeah.
Later that night, Raymond and Susanna watch Wheel of Fortune as Charlie orders some room service, and they get Raymond some... They get him some, yogurt, or no, what was it?
Tapioca.
Tapioca? I never had tapioca. I like saying it, though. It's a fun word.
It's weird. I don't like it. Yogurt's better. Or is it technically pudding? It's pudding, isn't it? Tapioca?
I thought it was pudding.
Yeah, it's pudding, but it's, different.
It has that nice layer of skin over the top.
No, it's, thicker. It has taste to it. It has the
Pudding
taste.
has taste?
It's the certain taste, though. You'd have to taste it first to know what I'm talking about. If you had tapioca before, you know what I'm talking about.
Ooh, I'm so sorry. Miss Tapioca over here.
It has a taste to it. I don't know how to describe it.
You remember what happens after the room service scene?
No.
The sex scene.
Oh, why'd you bring that up? That was weird. I did not like that.
Yeah. You want to explain it since it's your favorite part of the movie?
No.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Weird. No, I'm not saying that.
Please go ahead and explain it.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay, fine. They're doing it, and Raymond is sitting on the bed while they're doing it. The end.
No, that's not the whole scene.
Then you finish it.
I mean, Charlie did finish it. So, Raymond he's like, what? No, what is he doing? Is he reading the phone book?
I think so, yeah.
They have, like, conjoining rooms or something, and Raymond is reading from the phone book just because he wants to, and he doesn't have any other books to read.
He got to G.
Mm-hmm. He got halfway through G.
Yes.
And then he starts hearing something from the other room. It's Susanna moaning, and he doesn't realize what it is, and he starts mimicking the moaning. He's like,
You don't have to mimic it. Shut up.
Something just fell.
Sorry.
And he walks in on Charlie and what's her fucking name? Susanna. Having sex. And as Charlie finishes, he sits down on the end of the bed, and Raymond's still making the noises, and Charlie's like, what the fuck is that? And Susanna is like, I think Raymond is in the room.
She didn't say it like that, but okay.
You do it then.
No, I'm good.
Do it.
She, whispered it, though. So,
I think Susanna, I say... Or, wait, no. I think Raymond is in the room. I think Raymond is in the room.
In the womb?
And Charlie's like, no, that's me. That's my name. I doubt a condom was used. I think the only Tom Cruise movie I've seen so far where they have sex and use condoms is Losing It, which is also the worst Tom Cruise movie ever.
Well, you gotta remember, they were faking it, so who needs a condom if you're faking it?
Not in the movie. In the reality of the movie, Susanna is definitely gonna get pregnant.
Not always.
Definitely.
Not always.
Definitely.
Not always.
Definitely. That's what happened in Cocktail.
She could have had her tubes tied. She could be infertile.
It's the 80s.
Exactly.
Anything could happen. Why can't we go back to the 80s? When the world was just an illustrious joy of wonder and amusement.
No, thank you.
Also, I'm pretty sure this is the movie that Tom Cruise swears the most out of all the films he's ever starred in. He swears a lot in this movie. He's the reason it's rated R. He is the sole reason it is rated R.
I thought it was rated R for the sex scene and kidnapping an autistic person.
That's not rated R. That's G at best.
That is not rated
G. Let's see. When does Susanna leave?
She leaves,
Is that later? Or is that now?
She's in the bath.
Oh,
and
yeah.
she gets upset. I don't remember if it was right after the sex scene. I don't remember what happens right after. But she clearly understands that he's just using Raymond. And then she just gets so frustrated that she just hops out of the bath, grabs all her stuff, and leaves.
Mm-hmm. Then she's out of the movie until the very end. So you don't worry about Susanna anymore. Sorry, viewers, you won't get to listen to my perfect impression. So the next day, Charlie and Ray go to a diner, and Raymond shows off his perfect superb recall. Is that when he's doing the phone book? Yeah, because he sees
read
the
through
waitress.
the phone book, and then he knew the waitress's number from her name, from her name tag.
Let's see. Dang, if he wasn't so severely autistic, he could be a good pickup artist. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, baby, your number is 555-94-228-1. And then he has a serious injury list that he keeps in his notebook.
Oh, yeah, and then he pulls his neck.
The toothpick scene happened, probably the most famous scene of the whole movie, which is, I guess, does Raymond eat with toothpicks?
Yeah, from that dialogue, he doesn't use fork, he eats with toothpicks. But the nurse ends up spilling it all over the floor.
Waitress.
What did I say?
Nurse.
Oh, my bad. The waitress ends up spilling the toothpicks all over the floor, and Raymond was able to guess how many toothpicks were left in there and how many were on the floor. He said there was like 88 on the floor and then 200 and something left in the box. Out of 250.
No.
No?
There was like 260 something and like 4 left in the box. I think.
Oh.
Wasn't it?
Or was it? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was 4 left in the box.
Was it the other way around?
Yes.
Okay, then
no, because there was only like 4 left in the box. And then like all the rest were just on the floor, I guess.
Oh.
My next note is 97X. Bam! The future of rock and roll.
Oh, please don't say
97X.
And then he just repeats that over and over in the car. Are you gonna stop?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Then we get to the airplane scene, which is at an airport, I guess in Cincinnati or somewhere. And Charlie's like, "We gotta get to LA so I can steal your money." And Raymond freaks out because there have been a lot of plane crashes, and he doesn't want to crash in a plane. And Charlie's like, "No, calm down. It's the safest route of transport." But Raymond ain't having that, sister. There's also I had a stroke. Sorry, that happens quite often on these podcasts. I just have short outbursts of strokes.
You should go see a doctor.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
You should go see
It's fine. What are you gonna do? Put me in an institution or something?
Yes.
Wait, what? There's a mispronunciation of Melbourne.
Melbourne?
Melbourne?
Like Melbourne?
No, it's Melbourne. It is.
I know it's Melbourne, but you're talking about
Melbourne.
They said Melbourne.
Yeah, they say Melbourne instead of Melbourne. Car crash on a highway freaks Ray out. And he is so scared of the dangerous roads, and he just wants to get off the highway because there's a car crash, and he doesn't want to get into a car crash. So he gets out of the car, and I guess they go along the shoulder the whole way until they get to an exit ramp.
And he gets back in the car.
Yeah, so Raymond the whole time is walking in front of Charlie's car.
Which is more
dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, what if someone tries to pass him and doesn't know Raymond's there?
He was, like, in the dirt. He was in the shoulder.
But were they in the shoulder the whole time? Is what
Probably.
I want to know. What if somebody came speeding by on that exit, though? That, like, one-lane road.
They're lucky it didn't happen.
Hey, maybe he could have gotten the money then if he died.
I don't know. Maybe they walked far enough and he convinced them to get back in the car.
Maybe. Later at a motel, Raymond says that he does not go out when it rains. So they're there for like a day or two, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
They're just stuck in this little shitty motel. And it's like the lover's suite or something.
I don't remember that, but okay.
And finally, the duo get back on the road. And Ray almost kills them by grabbing the steering wheel.
Oh, yeah.
Because he keeps insisting that he is a great driver and that he drove and that...
his dad would have let him drive.
Drive on the sidewalk.
I thought it was just the driveway.
Oh, is it the driveway? I
thought it was just in the driveway.
Oh, okay. Maybe
they had a pretty big driveway.
Mm-hmm. Then there's the underwear / Kmart discussion. You remember that?
Yeah, he wouldn't put on Charlie's underwear because he wanted his Kmart brand.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, we got to go back to Kmart.
But not just any Kmart. The one all the way back in Cincinnati.
Yeah, exactly. Rest in peace, Kmart. Don't make them like they used to, because they don't make it at all. Then they get to the big city of somewhere. I don't know what city that was, where he stops at the crosswalk. So
it was like a small town.
I thought it was in Texas or something, but that may have been because of the cowboy hat.
Yeah. I think
so
they were implying it was Texas, because they didn't say.
Yeah. So Raymond, he's like walking across this crosswalk, and the sign switches to "Do not walk." So he does not walk. He stops right in the middle of the sidewalk intersection. Hold on. My monitor's turned off. Shit.
Did it stop?
I don't know. Let me find out. But yeah, he just he pisses off some guy in a pickup truck, and
he tries to move him and he won't move.
Yeah, he starts screaming and freaking out, and then luckily Charlie comes to his rescue. Then he takes him to some doctor, I guess.
Doesn't he try to like? I thought he was trying to like drop him off at another institution so he could just like.
Oh, was that what he was doing? I thought he was just taking him to the doctor to try and figure out what's wrong with him or something.
Is that what he was doing? But there was already a doctor that knew what was wrong with him.
Yeah, I have no idea what this scene is supposed to be other than like an exposition to what is, like what Raymond is capable of.
Uh-huh.
That being a mental calculator, which sets up the Las Vegas scenes later. But yeah, they learn that Ray is like really smart. To an extent.
He really knows how to count.
Yeah, he knows numbers. And that's all that scene is good for.
Yeah, and then they head to Vegas. So
No.
No?
Then they head to a payphone booth.
To do what?
I don't know, he calls somebody and then Raymond farts inside. You don't remember that scene?
No.
What?
No, I
Raymond's
don't.
like, uh-oh, fart.
I don't remember.
What?
This is when I was passing out.
Oh.
So.
Wow, you missed the
I
best
accidentally
scene.
maybe skipped over it.
I don't remember what the phone call was about, but Raymond farts in the phone booth, and it's top tier comedy.
I must have fallen asleep.
Then they're back on the road, and did you see the scene where Charlie poses as a Nielsen rating member? Do you know what a Nielsen rating?
No.
It's the Nielsen company. They take statistics about what people in America are watching on television. Like, you could become the next Nielsen family. Get paid blah, blah, blah amount to tell us about your television viewings. Used to be real big in the 80s and 90s, I think.
Sounds really big.
But yeah, Raymond, he's like freaking out that he won't be able to watch like his People's Court show.
Uh-huh.
And so they pull over to this like little farmhouse in the middle of nowhere. And Charlie tries to pose as a Nielsen rating person who's like asks to come inside to like speak with the woman about like becoming the Nielsen family. And then Raymond starts freaking out because he's looking at his watch and he can see in the television that like the People's Court is coming on inside.
Oh really?
And the woman slams the door on Charlie's face, and Raymond's freaking out and he's like, "Please, ma'am, my brother, he's not there mentally. He just really wants to watch the People's Court. If you don't let us in, he's gonna just freak out on your front porch. Please, just let us watch this like half-hour TV show and then we'll be on our way." And so she does.
I must have fallen asleep.
Yes, it just cuts to like this woman's like 6 kids bored out of their minds as Raymond sits on the floor and watches the People's Court and like writes in his notebook. Did you see the scene where they stay at the motel? And Ray continues to try and figure out who's on first?
Yeah, kinda.
So you see, the whole reoccurring thing is that Raymond never saw the Abbott and Costello who's on first bit.
Mm-hmm.
He read about it in like a book of baseball trivia that his dad gave him. So he doesn't understand that it's a joke. He thinks it's like an actual like equation to figure out like who is on first. Rather than who, because the whole joke is the guy that's on first, his last name is who. So one baseball player's like, "Hey, who's on first?" "Yeah, who?" "No, I'm asking who's on first, and I'm telling you who." It's very good. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Abbott and Costello were ahead of their time, Lena.
I'm ahead of my time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're so 3008?
Yes.
And I'm 2000 and late. I got that boom, boom, boom. You got that future boom, boom, boom. Remember the Black Eyed Peas?
Oh, good times.
Let's give a round of applause for the Black Eyed Peas. Ha, nerd, I got you to clap. Ow, she hit me.
I tapped you.
She hit me.
I tapped him.
She hit me. I'm writing that down on my serious injury list. And I guess it's at this point that Charlie learns that his what he once thought was his imaginary friend, Rain Man, was actually Raymond. And that young Charlie just mispronounced his name. Raymond also, he lived with the family until 1965. What if he killed their mom?
What? Why would you say that?
Or, like, he did something that caused his mom to die. Like, she tried to, like, rescue him from getting hit by a car or something. Because he says that she died in 1965, and that's when he went to the institution.
Maybe that's why he went to the institution, though, because she died.
Okay, that's a good point.
Otherwise, they would have said something. Well, then wouldn't the father be really mad at him, though? That's a good point. I wouldn't have left the will to my kid that killed my wife. No offense.
He didn't murder her.
No offense, but no.
I'm not saying he murdered her.
It would have been at fault on his part a little bit, though.
I really liked the photo Raymond keeps on his person of, like, him and little baby Charlie. You remember that?
No.
He has, like, a little, like, photograph that he keeps in his pocket of, like,
I didn't see that part.
You
when
did?
Was that?
It was when they were in the motel bathroom. It's like when he learns that Raymond was his imaginary friend.
Again, I was still falling asleep.
Oh. Did you see the part where Charlie starts a hot bath and Raymond freaks out?
No, okay.
My God.
I need to go back and watch that part. I think I skipped too far.
So yeah, Raymond, he gets freaked out by the hot bath. And Charlie, he figures out that Raymond, like, must have put him as a baby, Charlie when he was a baby, into a hot bath that, like, maybe burned his body or his skin or something.
What? Where'd you get that idea?
I read it online. That, like, 'cause he's like, no, hurt Charlie Babbitt. Can't hurt Charlie Babbitt. Hot water, burn baby. Hot water, burn baby. He's, like, screaming all this. So one can assume that he put baby Charlie into, like, a water that was too hot for a baby.
Yeah. And
then his parents, like, got very upset at him.
Probably.
But, like, Charlie is like, no, Raymond, come down, look at me. I'm not burned. I'm fine, buddy. I'm okay. And then, like, the little photo of baby Charlie and Raymond falls into the bathtub.
Of course it does.
And it's never brought up again.
How fast would a photo dissolve in water?
It's still, there's a close-up shot where the camera zooms in on it. Mm-hmm. And it's never brought up again.
I'm pretty sure they saved it.
I don't think they did. I was sad by that because I was like, oh, he keeps a photo of he and his little brother. And then they just fucking toss it in the water and never show it again. Yeah, so that happens. And, like, they have another bonding moment, and they're getting closer over the course of the film. Mm-hmm. More brotherly, if you will. Then Charlie gets a call. And he is told that all of his Lambos are gone. And that he owes $80,000.
Dun, dun, dun.
Did you see where he's out in the middle of the desert of this little town? And he screams, son of a bitch!
I think I did, yeah.
And then it echoes as the scene transitions to him driving with, like, a straight face. And it's like him driving as, son of a bitch! I was hoping that it was just going to keep echoing as the scene continued. So you're just sitting there, it's like, son of a bitch, son of a bitch, son of a bitch. No?
No, that would have been annoying.
That would have been pretty funny. Yeah, then Charlie, he gets the idea of having Raymond count cards. So they go to Las Vegas to win back the money that Charlie owes for his... How legitimate do you think his car business was?
Not that legitimate.
What makes you think that? Is it the fact that his office is just 3 people in a warehouse?
Ew. And that they were lying.
What?
They were lying.
I prefer the term stretching the truth.
They were lying.
If you say so. Also, during the scene where, so Charlie, he buys this, like, pack of playing cards, I guess, from, like, the general store or something. Mm-hmm. And he's just tossing them all in the trunk of his car. And he's having Raymond, like, look at them and memorize them. And then he asks Raymond what cards he still has in his hand, in the deck. And Raymond is able to figure it out immediately which cards he has in his hand. The close-up of Charlie wearing his aviator sunnies, you can see the whole camera crew in it.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it.
I rewound it. Rewound. Don't listen to me. And, yeah, you can see the fucking camera crew in his reflection. Let's see. So then Charlie and Raymond go and buy some matching suits, which probably cost a few grand.
Yeah.
And they head to a casino. And then this is the scene that The Hangover parodies. Have you seen The Hangover?
Yeah.
You remember the scene?
No.
Where Zach Galifianakis and Bradley Cooper's characters go to the casino and start counting cards?
Sure.
Wow.
I don't remember.
Todd Phillips, director of Hangover 1, 2, and 3, also directed The Joker. Or Joker.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So they go to the casino, and then there's the counting cards and blackjack montage. Did you see that?
Yeah.
They're just winning so many chips. So many chips. Oh, they're doing so great. And, like, the pit bosses are watching them, and, like, the security cameras are watching them.
And they can't figure it out.
Yeah, they can't figure it. Like, I can't see. He doesn't have a calculator in his hand. How are they doing this? Then Ray is distracted by a Wheel of Fortune game because he loves Wheel of Fortune.
Mm-hmm.
And,
they lose 3,000.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's wrong.
Yeah. I can't believe that.
I know. I wasn't ready for that. I thought he was going to get it right.
Your whole Rain Man world came crashing down around you. But they decide to quit while they're ahead. They've won $86,000, which is $6,000 over what they need. And it's like 6,000, 86,000, like 500 something. So they got some spending cash if they want it. And, yeah, later Raymond and Charlie sit at a bar, and I think Charlie, like, goes to the bathroom or something. And this, like, woman comes over that Raymond has been staring at. Well,
she has been staring at Raymond.
And he was staring at her necklace because it's shiny.
Yeah.
What did she do? Is she just, like, trying to get him a date with him or something to get his money?
I think she heard how much money they made.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were talking about it at the bar.
Very loudly.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
Then she tries to take him on a date, right?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, but then she's all like, what are you doing here? And Raymond's all like, we're counting cards.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, oh my gosh, no.
I thought she was going to tell the casino for sure. But nope. Or maybe she did.
Maybe she did, and that's why they got kicked out.
Maybe she's like a mole or something.
Yeah, and then...
What's her name? Iris, I think?
Yeah, Iris. And then Raymond thought Iris and him were going to go on a date, but then she left because, I don't remember what it was like.
I think he was just weird.
Was it just that? He said something, though, that made her leave. I don't remember what.
Neither do I.
But he said something, and she was all like, okay, bye.
And then Charlie comes back, and he's like, hey, everything going okay here?
He's like,
I'll be sitting over here. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, then I really like the scene where they go up to the penthouse suite.
Oh yeah,
and Charlie,
the high roller suite.
Yeah, the high roller suite, and Charlie shows Raymond that he had the casino put Raymond's bed by the window.
Yeah, because that's where he likes his bed.
Mm-hmm. Also, Ray really likes the lights in the window.
Yeah.
In all the buildings.
They're shiny.
Mm-hmm. Then Ray, he starts like panicking that because he doesn't know how to dance, and he's like, I gotta learn how to dance for my date. I gotta learn how to dance for my date. Charlie, teach me. So Charlie, he teaches his brother to dance for the non-existent date, which was sweet.
Yes. And then, surprise.
Surprise! Susanna is back.
Why'd you say it like that?
That's how she sounds.
No, she doesn't.
You do it then.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, well, don't bother with my accent then.
Don't do an accent if you can't do it right.
I'm just doing her accent.
That's not her accent.
You're not. I watched the whole movie. You're the one who fell asleep.
Okay.
Yeah, Susanna shows up at a... did he call her?
No, she came back because she was unemployed.
How did she know where he was?
Blaney ratted him out. I don't know.
Who?
The other guy. The other worker.
Oh, Lenny?
I said Lenny.
How did Lenny know where he was? Oh,
I guess probably talked to him.
He did talk to Lenny. But he didn't tell him that he was going to Vegas.
I guess. Cut it
out. So yeah, she and Charlie go down to the bar with Raymond for his date, and just to make sure that he doesn't get into any more trouble. And then the head of security comes up to Charlie, and he's like, hey, we want to see you in the back office.
Or the manager, the security
manager.
Yeah,
the manager comes up and he's like, hey, the head of security wants to see you, Charlie Babbitt. And so Susanna watches Raymond as Charlie gets interrogated. Mm-hmm. Lo and behold, Iris does not show up for the date, and Raymond is distraught and sad. And so Susanna and Ray go to the elevator, and she stops it, like, mid-travel, I guess, so that Ray can dance with her. What'd you think of that scene?
I thought it was sweet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then she's like, Raymond, have you ever been kissed before?
Better. You're closer.
Raymond, have you ever been kissed before?
A little better.
Jerk. Wake up, you're having a nightmare.
See, Butter does that, but she kicks.
Oof. Then she, quote-unquote, kisses him. And
ew, I wouldn't have kissed someone that way. She's just like, open your mouth.
Open your mouth like you're tasting something sweet.
Ew, you don't kiss someone with your mouth open.
And then Ray's like, or she asks how it felt, and Ray tells her that it was wet.
Ew.
The next day, it's another sweet scene where Charlie lets Ray drive the car a little bit, like around the large, like roundabout driveway at the hotel.
Fountain
yeah, the big fountain. To show what an excellent driver he is.
He's a terrible driver.
Yeah.
Charlie was still like holding the steering wheel.
Mm-hmm. But hey, he still got to drive the car.
That's true.
Finally, Charlie and Ray arrive in Los Angeles.
Angeles?
Yeah. And Charlie takes Raymond back to his apartment, which has apparently never been furbished before. And another sweet thing is that Charlie rented out a Who's on First videotape so that they can finally watch it. And Ray finally sees Who's on First and realizes how funny it is.
Mm-hmm.
Then he dances for some reason. You remember that? Charlie's like on the phone or something, or like looking at Raymond, and Ray's in the other room. He's just dancing.
Oh yeah. He's just happy, I guess.
I guess so. Charlie meets with Dr. Bruner, who is the head of the institution, who is also a friend of their father's. And Bruner gives him a check for $250,000 to just walk away, which Charlie refuses. And he says that Charlie says that he's no longer pissed that his father cut him out of his will, and that he just wants to know why no one ever told him that he had a brother. An answer he does not get. A day or two maybe later, Raymond is in the kitchen. What is he trying to?
He's trying to make waffles.
Oh yeah. What does he burn?
He ends up turning on the toaster oven, and whatever was inside of there starts burning.
That's where Charlie keeps all of his dishcloths.
Probably.
His wash rags in the toaster. Yeah, so whatever's in the toaster oven starts burning, and Raymond starts freaking out, and it gets even worse when the fire alarm starts going off. And I feel like this is when Charlie realizes that Raymond can't really do a whole lot on his own.
Yeah.
Like, because he has to, like, console Raymond and make sure he's okay. And he's like, oh,
well,
man.
he started hurting himself. Started banging his head against the wall or door.
But, like, I feel like that was, I don't know, the first stepping stone to seeing that what you don't believe is correct, which is that Dr. Bruner's the best for Raymond and going back to the Institute. Then there's a cute scene with Ray and Charlie at a diner. Mm-hmm. And
he has the syrup ready.
Because Raymond, whenever he has pancakes, he has to make sure that the syrup is on the table before they eat. And Ray's like, the syrup, Charlie, where's the syrup? And Charlie pulls it out, and then Raymond says, "Aw, Charlie Babbitt made a joke." Very cute scene. Then the brothers head to a meeting with the court-appointed psychiatrist, whom you hate.
Yes, I don't like him.
They ask Raymond if he wants to stay with his brother, and what does he say?
He says yes.
They also ask him if he wants to go back to the Woolbrook Institute, and what does he say?
Yes. Which, you gotta understand, he wants both. He wants Charlie to go back to the Woolbrook Institution with him.
But he can't.
Did you not get that?
No. I just saw that he wasn't deciding.
You didn't catch that? He said back to the Wahlberg Institute with Charlie.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
Oh, I don't remember that. Yeah, they discuss it a little more, and they decide that Raymond is unable to decide for himself. Charlie tells Raymond that he really likes having him as a big brother, and in a scene showing that Raymond has grown to... Since Raymond, he can't really express, like, normal emotions, I guess, so he doesn't really know how to say he loves someone. The closest thing he gets to doing that and telling Charlie that he loves him and he's happy to have him as a brother is that he leans his head against Charlie's, and Raymond calls Charlie his main man. What you doing?
Sorry.
Put your phone away, Missy. During this podcast, I'm the only one who gets to use their electronic device.
But it's Jasmine.
Raymond then boards an Amtrak train with Dr. Bruner, and he makes a joke, and Charlie gives Ray the Who's on First tape, which I assume he stole from the video rental store. And then he promises to visit Ray in 2 weeks' time. And he's like, how many days is that?
He counts down to the minutes and the seconds.
Mm-hmm. The end. Did you see the credits?
No.
What?
Why did I have to see the credits?
Because it has the photos that Raymond was taking along the trip. Remember he has that little disposable camera he brought?
No, I don't remember that.
What? He brought along a little camera for their trip. And like...
I remember the Walkman.
Oh, well, actually it's a Watchman.
Oh, my bad.
He has a little camera that he like...
I missed all of those.
Periodically during the film he takes photos of
no.
random stuff, and like those photos are in the credits.
I had to go to class.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah, that's the end of this movie.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I would recommend watching it.
Yeah, well, that's good. I don't think we've ever said that about a movie here before. We haven't outright said it.
Movie.
We haven't outright said that we recommend watching the movie. I
don't
don't recommend... nope, don't give it a score yet, because here at the Cruising Altitude podcast, we have a very special rating system.
Oh, no.
It is out of a possible 21 teeth, because anytime Tom Cruise smiles, you will see a number of 21 teeth in his mouth.
I would give it a good...
Wait.
Hey.
While you decide that, decide your score, think about it, and I'll read off some of the other scores online. IMDb gives Rain Man 8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes has it at 90%. Metascore at 65, and Roger Ebert gave it a 3.5 out of 4. Lena, how many teeth out of 21 possible teeth would you give Rain Man?
A good... That's hard to calculate. I don't know, a good 20?
If you want, you can give it...
18?
What Saul likes to do is give it like fillings or caps.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So if you want to do like a half score, we'll sometimes do that. Like a
19 capped.
Okay. 19 fully capped teeth?
Yeah.
What kind of cap?
Golden.
Ooh, wow. You really like this movie.
It was good. It was better than what I was expecting.
I also give it a 19 out of 21 possible teeth. Did you have any afterthoughts about the movie that you wanted to discuss?
I'm upset that they never told us why they didn't tell Charlie why he didn't have a brother. They were just like...
Yeah, you can't see it right now, but she's standing here very sternly.
Yeah, that's all they did. They wouldn't say anything. They just were like... Not saying anything.
That doesn't really work for...
That was very frustrating. I wish they would have told us. It's like, did he actually kill their mother?
Did he?
Did he?
Did he?
Did he?
Did he? My afterthought is that this is my favorite role that Tom Cruise has ever been in so far. I really enjoyed his acting. I thought it was very superb seeing his sort of character arc from going to a selfish asshole to a less selfish...
caring brother.
Yeah. He's still kind of a dick.
Yeah, he's not the nicest Raymond. But... I don't know. I feel like his dickiness.
Yeah.
You see what they did there?
No, I don't.
Kind of helped Raymond, like, being in the real world. Because he kind of knocked off, like, acting out.
Oh, yeah.
Once Raymond not Raymond, but
Charlie
was kind of mean to him. So
what you're saying is you should yell and harm your children and brothers to teach them how to be proper.
Yes.
Okay.
Tough love, Blake. Tough love.
Okay. So yeah, like I said earlier, Tom Cruise has a penchant of playing terrible characters. But unlike this one, he plays a terrible person who has a heart of gold. And Saul and I have a theory that every Tom Cruise character in all of his movies, first of all, it's that every Tom Cruise movie takes place in the same universe. Second of all, there's some sort of evil demonic entity, sort of like
It?
Yeah, like It, who inhabits every Tom Cruise character in each of his movies. But I am starting to see Tom Cruise and his characters becoming a force for good. Huh. Slowly, he's becoming the hero instead of, I don't know, an anti-hero. Here at the Cruising Altitude podcast, we give each film, we rank them all in the order that we enjoy them the most. You can look at this list in the description. It's on IMDb. Currently, the list is as stands. Risky Business, Top Gun. Wait, what? We put Top Gun in second? I do not remember that.
It must have happened.
Taps, Endless Love, The Outsiders, All the Right Moves, Legend, Cocktail, The Color of Money, and the absolute garbage that is Losing It. Lena, since you haven't seen any of these movies, I am going to decide.
Okay, I was going to say that.
And Saul won't get a say in it at all. I decide where this movie goes, and I am going to put it right at number 1.
Yay! I would have voted that.
This is the best movie. It's better than Risky Business, which Tom Cruise still plays a terrible person. So the current list is as follows. Rain Man, Risky Business, Top Gun, Taps, Endless Love, The Outsiders, All the Right Moves, Legend, the terrible movie of Cocktail, Color of Money, and the absolute trash Losing It at the very bottom, where it will always stay.
Was that bad?
It's awful. It is terrible. If anybody wants to hear how terrible that movie is, if you still made it this far, just go back and listen to our episode a few months ago about Losing It. One more segment we have, everybody's favorite segment, or so I've been told, is what I like to call Tom Cruise News.
So what's the stitch?
So, usually there's not a whole lot, but this month I found this very interesting article. Would you like me to read it?
Of course.
Tom Cruise assassinated co-workers with Post-it notes as collateral training.
What?
So this is an article by Eric Eisenberg from Cinema Blend. There is nobody in the world who would question Tom Cruise's dedication to his craft. His work of doing his own stunts in the Mission Impossible movies alone show how far he is willing to go for an authentic performance. And you can see just how much he throws himself into each of his roles. It clearly demands a lot of preparation work from the actor, but apparently he went under a very strange route with it in the making of the 2004 film Collateral. Director Michael Mann apparently put out mock hits on people who work in his office. Hold on. Okay. Michael Mann apparently put out mock hits on people who work in his office and assigned Tom Cruise to assassinate them. Cruise would then follow his targets for days and figure out their patterns before making his move, which meant slapping them on the back with a Post-it note that said, "You're dead."
Oh, we played that before.
What?
Well, in band, every time we went on a competition, we played Assassin. So,
really?
Yeah, you got a popsicle stick with the person. If you killed them, then you got the popsicle stick, and the last person to survive won.
Did you ever win?
No, Everyone always killed me.
Oh.
But I lasted longer than the people who got killed at the first stop, because you're only allowed to do it...
Oh, when you stop?
Yeah, you were only allowed to do it at, when we stopped at gas stations or at the mall. You weren't allowed to do it on the bus or at competition.
You band nerds.
Thank you.
Here's some self-promotion. Would you like me to list off any of your social media accounts, or you want to stay anonymous?
I want to be anonymous.
Okay. You didn't see that, but she mimed being a moose.
I did moose ears.
It was very scary. I thought she was going to trample me.
You're bigger than me.
No, I'm not. I'm only 3'4". That's the...
You liar.
No, I'm not.
He's lying to you.
No, don't listen to her. Find us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, and PodBean, all at the Cruising Altitude Podcast. Follow me on Twitter at Smokey's Videos, and follow the podcast on Twitter at Cruising Podcast, and of course make sure to follow Tom Cruise at Tom Cruise. Follow Saul on Instagram on his meme account at dio_sama_art. That's DIO_SAMA_art. And join us next month for Born on the 4th of July from 1988 also.
Tom Cruise was busy.
There was one year where he had like 4 movies in the same year.
How did he pull that out?
He just
Pull
loves...
that out, pull that off.
Wow.
Pull
Get your
it
mind
off.
out of the gutter. How did he pull that out of that gay porn star? He just loves the art of making film. And now, Lena, it's everyone's favorite segment. The end.
Yay!
Here on the podcast, we have a very special way to sign off each episode. It involves Saul and I going word for word to create some sort of sentence. Would you like to start? Basically, you say a word, I say a word, until we get our closing sign off.
Alright, good.
Tom
Cruise.
will
Be.
Going.
To.
The.
Store.
To.
Say.
Good.
Bye.
As we always say at the Cruising Altitude Podcast, good Tom Cruise will be going to the store to say goodbye. I'll see you next month. You won't be seeing Lena.
Bye.
Bye.